Some viewers may find the following video offensive. Viewer discretion is advised.
Elite FPL, baby!
Viewer discretion is advised. Warning. Some viewers may find the following video offensive. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Game week 37 still underway. It's the double game week that's got everybody excited and up off their chairs, running around, loving life. And probably, let's be honest, it's going to be one of the major turning points to determine mini leagues. This double game week is going to have massive ramifications for the likes of the YouTube chat league, the trophy league, the rivals league, the mod league, all the leagues. I mean, I know that Harbour Boy's been doing amazing, but Paulie has been catching him up. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens between the two of them. Paulie's currently on 63 in second place. Harbour Boy being on 59 in first. So it'll be interesting. Harbour Boy playing, of course, his bench boost. Did Paulie play his bench boost? No, he didn't. So again, do you know who else played their bench boost? Me. And that was a waste. Well, it's not over yet, but it feels over, Steve-O. The season feels over for me. Like, it feels over. Not like United are just dead in the water. Oh, it's just, 54 points. And I saw Guardiola for you got like more than my captain. I knew he was going to do something. I knew he was going to do. Like, he's just been absolutely ridiculous. But, what can you do when all the popular players score big? And everyone's got a lot of the same players, especially this time of the season. Everyone's got the same players, Steve-O. So, yeah, shit. What a shit season. I've given up. I've given up.
If you go on our X account, you won't know this. I've just taken a picture of you, and it is gold dust. I don't even think you'd be aware of what you were even doing.
No.
It's just a picture of you with your jet. And I've just literally written, I think you've given up before the stream started. And yeah, it's...
I'm only here out of respect for the audience and yourself. Like, worst season. For 6 years. This is the worst by a long shot.
Season we've done
this. Yeah, this is a long way. Like, yeah, it's crap. It is absolutely crap.
And ironically, Dan is above me and you in mine worst ever season.
Well, thing is, right, you've done better than me, but that's not exactly hard. 2 million people have done better than me. So, yeah, I tried to do some maverick moves and go against the grain a few times, and it's absolutely fallen on its face. It seems that this season, playing it safe and going with the scout picks has paid off for the majority of the season. And this is probably the one and only seasons where I've seen that happen, where like the safe template options have just been the way to be all the way through the season. And it's just like, wow. Hello to everyone in the chat as well. Hello to Animations. Hello, Gabriel Rock, Dazzy, Haggis, Connor's here. We've got Woodstock Chris. We've got Michael Sven in here. We've got Joe Clickus. We've got Matthew SGS here. We've got Gabriel Rock. Dilkinson, good evening. Triple Arsenal defenders sort me out for the second week running. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, United played better, but then I don't know what to think about that performance, because United played better, but still couldn't do absolutely anything in the final third. Like, I think we could have played for 5 hours, and we wouldn't have created a close opportunity. It would just being so one-dimensional. Goldbridge I was watching Goldbridge, and he was right. Just honestly, the wingers, they don't get crosses in the box. They're just trying to cut inside and shoot. It's so predictable, Steve-O. It's so predictable. Embarrassingly predictable, you know.
Yeah. It was the first time I've actually turned Mark Goldbridge off, because I think listening to the United stand from a non-United fan gets a bit repetitive. It's just answering Man United questions. I'm just like, I'm turning this off. I couldn't deal with it any longer. No,
to be fair, it's true, isn't it? It's like, and it's because the same people are super chatting the same things over and over again.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to Dan's opinion, because my opinion of that game is that Arsenal were just average.
They were.
Man United just had no creativity in the final third. And if it wasn't for a lapse,
but you still a team, though, right? I mean,
yeah. That's why I changed my prediction. Literally the last minute, I was just like, Arsenal winning this to 0. So I just put 2.
We got no striker to back up Haaland at all. No. Højlund, I should say. No. And I mean, even if we had Haaland playing for us, he'd be a pedestrian. He would like you could have, I don't know, Messi in the middle of United's attack. And I think he would hardly get touch of the ball from his own teammates. You know, everything just seems to be just ignored down the centre. It's weird.
I do agree with Animations. So weird. If Bruno had played today, I don't know what the hell happened there. I reckon you probably would have got a draw. Genuinely, I think he would have given you enough drive to get you that goal. I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I've been frustrated with Bruno for a number of, couple of seasons now. But you definitely see a difference when he's not playing. So I don't know. I'm hoping that we offload. I mean, again, United are dead in the water in the sense of, as a team, they've regressed to the point where they just need to make wholesale changes. Everyone knows that. And any serious United supporter who has any clue about football knows that we've got problems that we have to sort out, that we've needed to sort out for seasons upon seasons upon seasons. And instead of sacking the manager, we've just let the same group of players get away with absolute, lazy, lackadaisical football. And a new manager comes in. Oh yeah, they'll pick up, and then it'll be like same old crap again. I don't know. I think I kind of knew that Arsenal were going to win tonight. I was hoping it wasn't going to be like a heavy score, like 2 or 3-0. I'm glad it's only 1-0, but it was inevitable for me that Arsenal were going to win. I'm watching Højlund again,
Well,
and he's making runs.
Dan
He's
is here
making
now when
runs,
you
and he's
bring him
not
on.
getting any. He's making all the runs, but he's not getting any service whatsoever. I feel sorry for the guy. Really, it's kind of sad. Really, it's kind of just sad. Hello, Dan.
Good evening.
Hello, mate. Congratulations on the win.
What a terrible game.
Well, it was terrible, wasn't it? It was one team that was just after a nice, comfortable 1-0. Wasn't putting in, probably putting about a 60%, 65% effort into that game, I would imagine. And United, doing their best to retain possession, long spells of the game, passing around the box. But actually, when it came down to it, didn't have a clue how to find Højlund, and not a clue on how to actually penetrate the defence of Arsenal. I mean, it was really a very repetitive game, if you think about it, wasn't it? It was very repetitive. It was the same old, wingers running down. Garnacho on the left hand side. Garnacho a few times did some nice bit of football, nice bit of movement, but again, no final ball into the box. Running into a series of defenders. Again, it's the same old. Anthony does it. Ahmad had a good game, but unfortunately he got injured. But I think it was just a professional job done from Arsenal. And can I ask you, were you a little bit nervous at any time during that game? Because United were obviously knocking on the door, but from my point of view, I wasn't expecting much because of how the game had went. But were you a little bit worried?
Definitely in the second half. United had lots of spells of possession, and I said to my friend actually, I said, look, if Fernandes was fit, United would have scored basically, because we were giving the ball away, and we just seemed to be panicking and not really getting out of first gear. I don't know. It was quite a laboured performance, really. But like you said, it was familiar patterns of play. We had a bit of possession and we give it away. You guys had possession, but there was no real cutting edge. Decision making not always the best. And like you said, the wingers causing some trouble, like Ahmad and Garnacho and whatnot, being a threat. But
our team was very poor. We're a weakened team due to injuries anyway. We've got Scott McTominay as captain playing the number 10 role. We've got Johnny Evans and Casemiro as centre backs. We've got Dallo. Dallo didn't do too bad, but our main threat for me came from Diallo and Garnacho, and obviously Diallo going off, was a bit of a shame. As an Arsenal fan yourself, were you happy with the performance?
Not at all. No, it was terrible. Just in terms of giving the ball away and just seemed a lot of nerves there, but understandable. I thought Saliba obviously had a good game. I know he got man of the match and some good defending, I guess, under pressure. It was always going to be a pressure game because at the end of the day, our record there is not good. And
Saliba's brilliant, isn't he? What a signing he's been.
Yeah, well, he was an Emery signing. He was on loan for 2 seasons, and then we realised, wait a minute, this guy's getting in the French national team and he's doing really well in Ligue 1. Let's, get him back to the Emirates. But it wasn't an enjoyable game to watch by any stretch of the imagination. But I thought Havertz played well again. I know I seem to be like the Havertz Defence League at the moment, but some nice touches and obviously got the assist. And Trossard, he just gets goals.
The thing is, you say you played poor, you gave the ball away a lot, probably played poor, but I remember there was a spell in the second half that you had a few shots at Onana, made some decent saves. I honestly think if a second goal had gone in, United's heads would have dropped, and I think it would have been cruise control to the end. I think because it was just 1-0, and I sensed the nerves. You sensed the nerves. I think the whole stadium sensed the nerves. I think because of that, it gave United that that momentum to drive forward. But again, as soon as they got past the midfield and into the final third of the Arsenal, part of the field, it was like William Saliba and Gabriel having a masterclass really in how to shut down attacks into the box. Diallo running in, Garnacho running in, you had overlaps from Dallo. Some movement in from Amrabat every now and again. I thought Amrabat had a decent game, to be fair to it. I didn't think that was his worst performance. Maybe been up there as one of his better performances in United shirt. Look, Tomine was pretty invisible for me. But yeah, there's a lot of tunnel vision for United. But again, going back to Arsenal, I feel it was just a bit nerve wracking for you guys from what I can see. The fans and again against a weakened United team, probably got away with playing like that.
There wasn't the threat there, was there? I mean, no Rashford, Fernandes, and whatnot. I mean, let's be honest. While we're talking about it, looking at United 11, let's say top 8 teams in the Premier League. How many of them gets into the starting lineup of a top 8 team? You are a top 8 team, are you?
No. Okay, no. I'm saying top half of the table. Okay, top half of the table. How many of them, other than United, not including United?
All right. Okay.
How many of those players today gets into a first team of any of the top half of the table teams? I would argue none of them.
Onana, maybe.
No, wow.
He's a decent keeper. I don't know. Yeah, like you said,
Onana had a good game today. He made some great saves in the second half, but he's been pretty consistent with a few of his. For me, he parries the ball out in front of himself a lot more than I'd like, and sometimes he dives. He just dives strange. I don't know. I'm not fully convinced that he's top class goalkeeper at the moment. I think that he's needing a lot of time to settle in. I think he's nowhere near settled and could end up being good, but some shaky moments from this season and he's done some things. Come for crosses and his anticipation isn't great. His position isn't always great at the start. But yeah, I'd probably say that out of all the players, none of them would get into a first team.
Well, I mean, Fernandes would, without...
No, from what I'm saying about who started today.
From today. I mean, Højlund, I know...
No. He's not proved himself. He's not proved himself in the Premier League. And literally looking for that. I mean, Mainoo's probably one of the most promising players that we have. But again, he's surrounded... the teammates around him are impacting on his performance. Maybe Onana is the strongest out of all of the players that played today. It's candidate to be, and that says it all, doesn't it? That says it all, really, as where United are, really.
I think he'll come on. He's had a really good first proper season, and that England debut, and shone in some big games for United. So I think he's promising one. And the thing with United, I said this to my friend as well today. They're a counter-attacking team, and they have players that can produce individual moments of brilliance. That's United in a nutshell, but they're not cohesive as a team, really. So there's obviously some. I personally, my opinion on Højlund is that he's a good young striker, really, and I think he will come good.
I think he's gonna need some service though.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's it. That's what I mean. One of the problems. I remember seeing some clip or whatever it was on YouTube and Dalot or whatever just being selfish and not crossing it in, and Højlund there just rollicking him basically. And I don't know. I think there's some good young players.
But Ten Hag surely must be seeing this. I think everyone, like Steve-O sees it, you see it. I think majority of people in the chat who's watched United sees that you've got a centre forward who's in the box, busting his gut, making runs, and how often does he even get a ball played towards him? How often do you see a ball? Not even an attempt. We're not even saying out of 10 times, only 2 of the balls finds Haaland because he's not running properly and he's not in the right position. No, he's not getting anyone attempting to pass to him. They're choosing the other option. They're choosing to take the player on or go into a crowded penalty area as to whip the ball in, or playing it a fast and hard ball along the floor to him in the box. I don't know what's going on. But again, Arsenal 3 points, and how do you going back to Arsenal now? I Are you kind of, how do you view the chances that Arsenal have? Like, are you kind of 50-50 or are you like 70-30? Do you look at it like that, or do you just think, I'm not going to think about it until the final game, final game week?
I think realistically, tomorrow we need Liverpool to get some kind of result against Villa.
Mm-hmm.
So then the onus is on Spurs on Tuesday night.
You're going to be a Spurs fan, aren't you? For a night.
Yeah. It's just mad. I mean,
Aston Villa will win against Liverpool.
I think the Liverpool Villa game could be like a high scoring draw, but we'll see what happens. I mean, Villa have got it all to play for. I mean, they're obviously down on their knees a bit after the Europa Conference game on Thursday night against Olympiacos. So, but Spurs, I just, it's just a very strange thing for them. Like, let's say, all right, that it is a draw tomorrow or Liverpool win, evening game, good record against Man City, and I know they beat them in the FA Cup 1-0 earlier this season at Spurs' Stadium, but to the best of my knowledge, I don't think
your goal difference is better than City's, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, marginally. They've really
so if it's like a 1-1 draw, like that's good enough to go into the final game, isn't it?
Yeah, but Jason, listen, it's not going to be a 1-1 draw, is it?
Oh, could you imagine? Oh my God, the final game it'll be like back in the old, what year was it? When it was like 20. When was the Arsenal? Not Arsenal. Sorry, the Man City, Man United, the final day of the season when it was Man City versus QPR, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2012, 2013.
Well, I think the upside is what were the last three results at Tottenham Hotspur's ground, Jason? The last three results at Tottenham Hotspur's ground in all competitions, what were they? There's a common number in all of it. I'll just tell you. 1-0. All three games have ended 1-0. 2 to Tottenham, 1 to Man City. So kind of suggests that it could be a very, very tight game. It won't be, but it could be, based on the history there.
I mean...
Well, in the reverse fixture this season, I know it's going back to December now, but 3-3.
City have proven that they are like robots when it comes to the final run-in. They're experienced in winning the league and less likely to bottle it than, say, Liverpool.
Man City have only won twice in the last 6 against Tottenham. Which is just mad.
Man City have only won twice in the last 6 against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last time 1-0 in the FA Cup and 4-2 at the Etihad back in January 2023.
Wow. I mean, yeah, okay. Well, we're talking in game week 38 as well. Then we'll have obviously the crunch would be whether or not you would be able to beat Everton, which you would imagine you would pick, get the 3 points there.
Not straightforward at all.
Man City have got West Ham, who's losing David Moyes. Heard it here first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's going to be really. I think for Arsenal to win the Premier League, I think it all boils down to that Tottenham game, and if they beat Tottenham, they've won the league. That's I genuinely believe that.
Yeah. I can't see West Ham doing anything. I mean, the game against Everton will be tough with their defensive record, and this is the Premier League. You can't take anything for granted. But I just going back to it with Spurs and Man City on Tuesday night, regardless of tomorrow night's result, I just think that I just with their high pressing and high line and all this and all that, I just watching Spurs recently, they're defensively as well. I think they'll score against Man City, but City have got the bit between their teeth now, haven't they? They know what to do. They're experienced in this situation and they're clicking at that right time.
They're not exactly wiped out with injuries either, have they? They've still got a very strong squad, and it's like everything seems to be going their way. So, bloody Gvardiol is getting those FPL points.
I mean, a couple of weeks ago, away to Forest had some great opportunities. Like, we'll go on the Chris Wood and that. Forest had something to play for on that game. They were really up for it, and they gave them a good match. Whereas the other teams they played, look, Brighton on the beach, Fulham are on the beach.
My only worry is, what have Tottenham got to play for?
Sorry?
Fifth.
My only worry is what have Tottenham got to play for, because they're
Champions
they're
League,
6
potentially.
points 6 points ahead of Newcastle United, and they are 4 points behind Aston Villa. So yeah, I mean they've got the ability of catching Villa, but I just don't see it happening. Because if Villa, hang on, let's just have a look at this for a second. Because if Villa beat Liverpool, then
Which they will.
if Villa beat Liverpool, which will be the day before Spurs play, then they can't.
Villa have got Champions League.
Yeah, they can't do anything. So Tottenham could go into that game thinking, well, we're safe in fifth.
Well, I personally see the game between City and Tottenham. My head says it's going to be City going to roll through them 3-4 goals, but it could be like today's game between United and Arsenal, where it's like this: Man City just about win 1-0, and it's like this scrappy kind of nobody wants to get hurt kind of type attitude, and just go into the last day of the season with as few as injuries as possible, so we can get into the Euros without hurting ourselves. There was a theory, wasn't there, from someone that super chatted on Mark Goldbridge, saying that Rashford, Fernandes, they'll be playing in the FA Cup, getting prepared for the Euros, but they won't be playing for any time for the rest of the season.
Well, United are dead in the water. Like I said, it's for them. It's a case of just get the season, try and finish this season, offload a load of players this summer, and hope to God that we can generate enough money to do an overhaul. And Ten Hag will be the manager of Man United next season, and just needs to have a whole new group of players to come in. And fortunately, it's going to have to be an overhaul. It's not going to be something we can introduce 2 or 3 players every season to that level. No, you're going to need 5 or 6 players minimum added to that team for the start of next season. You muted, by the way, Steve-O.
Yeah. Was there a question there?
Oh, no, I saw your lips moved like you were talking.
Oh, no, I was talking to myself.
Oh, right, sorry. Yeah, I didn't know. Anyway.
I am mental, by the way,
yeah. Yeah, there we go. So let's just talk about your FPL scores. Dan, we talked about it before you came on. You're having a great season compared to us too. You're doing very well. Let me just get your...
Yeah, look at the jammy bastard's luck with Walker. That's pissed me off last night.
This preparation.
Dan, I'm not used to scrolling so far up the page to find your name, mate. It's so wrong here. I feel like I've been transported into this alternate reality where everything's backwards. Like up is down, left is right, and then like Dan's good at FPL. Like no, in all seriousness, man, you're what 400,000 roughly, 66 points, plenty of bench boost played, and you have, Walker, Foden, Haaland. You got Pedro Porro with 9 points there on your bench boost so far. You got Branthwaite, who's got 6 points. It's going to score more than my Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes put together. Probably he's only played 1 game. Looking at that, Now I've got a question for you guys, because you obviously consume more football than me at the moment. Because to be honest with you, I quite frankly want to forget that football's on most times. Gordon. I'm sure I heard on the radio he scored. I'm sure I heard
can I give you the quote
on Talk Sport?
I'll give you.
And Gordon's giving him, and I was like, oh great, who's got Gordon? Steve-O.
I'll give you the quote. So they cut over to St James's Park.
Yeah.
And I specifically remember this because I was in an area which I'm not allowed to touch my phone. So my phone was in the tug, and all I heard was, both teams are on the beach. This is a really boring game. Hold on a minute. I don't believe it. Whoever scored, it was whoever scored, it was Longstaff. Yeah, but the only shining light for Newcastle has been Anthony Gordon all game. He pulls the ball across and Longstaff just slots it. And I'm thinking, oh, good, I've got an assist.
Oh, it's an
and then
assist.
literally 40 minutes later, I just thought, right, I'm going to check the score.
Yeah, and it wasn't there.
I was just like, oh, fuck off. And then I just turned it all off.
Well, no, what actually happened? Was it an FP? Like,
ask Danny, watch his match of the day.
What happened, Dan? Why wasn't it given as an assist to Gordon?
I haven't seen match of the day, so I don't know.
The one day.
Sorry.
Why haven't you watched match of the day? You always watch.
Well, the assist for Longstaff was given to Anderson. So that he must have got. He must. Oh, you know what it is. You know what it is, don't you? I bet the commentators. No. I bet the commentators mistaken Anderson for Gordon.
I doubt it. It's probably more Gordon got it in, and Anderson, where his stupid name is, touched the ball with his foot, with his fingernail, and it went in.
Let me load up the highlights now. Have a look.
Highlights.
Yeah, I'm going to look out now.
Don't play it, of course.
No, but you go ahead and talk to the chat.
Well, before you do, I just want to say there's
that.
a lot of people watching at the moment, and it would be nice if you just support the channel by just simply hitting the subscribe button and the like button. That'd be great. And yeah, if you are enjoying the content and whatnot, just to let people know that if you want to sign up to Patreon, it will be free throughout the summer. Not there's going to be much content, but it's just going to give you an opportunity to join into the Patreon, and then maybe next season, if you want to participate into the Trophy League, you there's the option there to join for $4.99 to be part of the Trophy League, which will be then running throughout the whole season. The Trophy League in which Harbour Boy seems to have, as Jason made the point, screwed up. And it looks like it's probably going to go down to the final day of the season between Harbour Boy and Paulie.
I see what happens. So Gordon has the ball, runs into the box. He's crowded around by by two Brighton players. He plays the ball nice and cleanly into Anderson on the left-hand side of the box, who's kind of midway in the penalty area. And then it was a complete... was like a cut back, essentially, a cut back 6-yard box, close range, and then a tap in for Longstaff. So yeah, it was a pass to Anderson, a pass to Longstaff. So there we go.
Well, FPL released an X post saying that this was the second time that Anthony's blanked in a home game, and I just had to write because I triple captained him. You couldn't make it up. In fact, when I went through it last night, basically Newcastle over the 5 fixtures at home prior to yesterday's game, they were scoring goals for fun. Brighton, away from home, bit of a mixed bag, but they were conceding lots of goals.
Yeah, but you've still got all the points from Gvardiol, mate. Gvardiol came in through. That's 21 points. Got 21 points from a defender, mate. Like that is massive.
You got to take 8 points away.
15% owned as well. 15% owned. That's a massive differential. It's just ridiculous how many points you got for it.
Not against the bench boosters. Everybody virtually owns Vardiol, apart from the odd put like Dan. But the fact that this game against Man United is probably going to end up being 0-0. I'm probably going to change my score for that game. I'm going to go 0-0. Unless Wilson's playing. If Wilson, Isaac and Gordon are playing, Newcastle have got a good chance of winning 1-0. But I think that's got 0-0 written all over, Jace.
Okay, so yeah. So you got 0-0 written on the Man United Newcastle game on Wednesday. What do you think of the Brighton Chelsea game? Obviously, we both got Palmer. I've got Jackson. You've got Jackson. I've got the defender. What's his name? Cucurella. Yeah, probably won't do anything. Probably won't even play. Do you see like, have you got anyone in your team, Dan, that you're waiting to get points from that other people don't own? I'm going to look on your team again.
Team is pretty template, to be fair.
Yeah, this is it. Everyone's got the same template team. It's like literally
Gallagher, isn't it?
He's got Gallagher. Yeah, he's got the one player, Gallagher. I suppose Gallagher's. He's your wild card.
I did know the Forest result yesterday. I mean, he gets 1 point and he scored last week, but obviously I've had Solanke in, single game weaker. But apart from that, Onana, I suppose. Do many people have Onana?
Not many, no. No, I suppose
Oh,
it could be.
can I just make
But
this
United
point that
defenders in general, crap.
neither of you went with Verbruggen, the player that I recommended, and yet he's got one of the teams that conceded one of the highest points this week. So don't bother listening to me.
Steve-O, why did you triple captain Gordon? Sorry to go back to...
Oh, football guru. That
Because I was gonna. I was definitely not going to captain Haaland. That was a categorical fact because if I'm chasing, there's no point in captaining Haaland. So it was either going to be Foden, Gordon, and potentially.
The obvious
Foden,
triple
Gordon,
captain chat was
Isaac.
Gvardiol, mate, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Sorry?
Gvardiol was the obvious one.
Yeah. I genuinely.
Could you imagine
had a
if you'd done that? Oh my god.
5% chance of doing it. I was really thinking,
He's scoring points for fun at the moment, isn't he?
Pardon?
He's scoring points for fun at the moment, Gvardiol.
Yeah, that's why this percentage of a chance I was thinking of doing it. In fact, I'll say this now. Next season, I'm just gonna, if I take my own advice, I'm gonna do a U and I'm just gonna play safe.
Yeah.
But any player that I bring in for a hit, I'm just gonna captain them. I'm just gonna do it. So in this case, it would have been Gvardiol. So whoever's got the best.
If you'd have triple captain Gvardiol, that would have been up there as one of the best triple captaincy decisions because not only have you triple captained a high scorer, but you've also triple captained someone that's not hot, like low captaincy. Like,
well,
it's
funny
ridiculous.
enough, the guy Adam from Above Average FPL, very popular account, a very popular podcast. Sorry, he did captain Gvardiol.
Yeah, but it's not exactly commonplace, is it? Let's be honest.
No.
But triple captain would have been, 63 points plus a Tottenham away game? That could be one of the highest triple captaincies in the game. So yeah, again. Right, we'll move on from this then. So we've gone through the results of this week. We've got the games coming up. No one's really excited about... I mean, Steve, you're not exactly excited by anyone in particular in your team, have you? Because you've got basically the same players as me to play. In fact, yes, you have got the same players. So really, it's just a case of just hoping for. Well, you got Son.
Ooh.
Wow, you got Son. He might do something. Can you imagine that? Son having a hat trick against Spurs against Man City. That would be unexpected.
Well, what are you predicting that game to end?
I'm thinking that game could be 2-1 either way. Genuinely. 2-1 to Spurs or 2-1 to City. I
Dan?
just can't.
3-2 Spurs.
What?
Yeah, you see, I'm going.
You got your Arsenal tinted glasses on, mate.
I did have some paprika extracted jelly beans earlier at tennis for a bit of extra energy.
Mate, Dan, I think you've been out in the sun for too long, mate. It's cooked your head.
Well, I was playing tennis in the sun, mate. I was cooked out, so. No, being serious.
2-1 either way, yeah. 2-1 either way.
2-2 either way.
2-0. 2-all? Oh, God.
No,
I
City will win 3-1, 3-2, maybe.
Okay. Steve-O, what do you want to move on to?
3-1.
Because I haven't got a great deal of time left. So do you want to, is there anything you want to cover? Should we cover the new leagues?
Yeah, if you just want to quickly cover the YouTube chat league, I think that's probably
YouTube chat league. You've got Harry Daniels, who is known as who, Steve-O?
FPL Harry, friend of the show.
Harry, friend of the show, Harry.
I may be meeting him next week, actually.
Or what?
For the FPL meets that's happening next week, Sunday, for the final day of the season. And he's
just remind everybody that you're going to be on the FPL.
Well, there's going to be like 400,000 people on there. I'm not even going to be on it. So
yeah, well, yeah. You got is Dredd well enough to, do you reckon, be there? Is he well enough to be there now?
I know he goes on the Discord Hangouts. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know his situation. No. I knew he was doing well. He was doing much better. So, yeah, not that he would get to this, but Dredd. I hope you're feeling better, mate. Dear John McGinn, Gary Horwood has dropped to second place in the YouTube chat league behind Harry Daniels again. A fool for Harbour Boy, who all season's been dominating. in pretty much all the leagues he's in. Do you think that? I mean, he has got the bench boost. I mean, I haven't seen. So we've got Haaland captain. He's got. He'd be upset about Fernandes. Looking at his team, let's quickly look back at the.
I mean, I find it highly ironic with Harbour Boy that throughout the whole season, he has had.
They've both played the bench boost, mate.
Yeah, I know. Real jammy luck. Like, for argument's sake, certain players he's never had to sell, and then all of a sudden they've come on as a substitute and they've had points.
Yeah.
The very end of the season, I know he's very fortuitous with Walker, like really fortuitous, but he didn't start. Fernandes hasn't started. Cucurella and Vicario coming with just 3 points on the bench boost. The luck seems to have just run out of the lastminute.com.
I mean,
even Dan Burn with no clean sheet.
So, yeah, you got Harry, who's got. I was looking at
their teams are virtually the same. It was down to Gabriel.
He's got 13 in play, and Gary's got 14 in play, which is interesting. So obviously, Harry had Gabriel and White, who've now played their total games, and Gary, also known as Hard Boys, had Gabriel, so he had one less single game week player, one more double game week player. So he's got one extra player to play, and he is 1 point behind Harry, FPL Harry, who's number 1. So it definitely is a chance there for Hard Boy to reclaim top spot by the end of this week. They've got very similar teams, but obviously Hard Boy going with Walker instead of Harry's Gvardiol. I think Gvardiol's been the reason for that overtake, of course. Both own Burn, both own Gordon, both own Foden, both own Son, both own Bruno Fernandes. I think that what's going on here? Yeah, I think it's very important for Hard Boy. For some reason, it's changed the order of the league. I don't know why on this app I'm using. Let me just refresh the league, see if I can get it working there again. There we go. That's sorted out now. So what player has he got different? He's got Cucurella. He's got Cucurella. Jackson. He's got Jackson. Haaland. Isaac. Palmer.
I'm sure it's the single game week players that are different.
He's got Pedro Porro. No, they both got Pedro Porro.
Walker versus Vardiol.
I'm just looking. There's no. Who's he got? Cucurella, Jackson, Vicario. He's got Vicario. Yes. White, Gabriel. Palmer. Oh, no, we've both got Palmer. Foden, Palmer. I can't see what difference they've got, Steve.
I've got Harbour Boys team up on screen. You get Harry's up, and then we'll go through both.
Do that. So Harry's team, he's got Petrovic.
Right.
He's got Vardy. Vicario.
Harbour Boys got Onana.
Yeah, but in terms of single game week player, who's the extra double game week player that Harbour Boys got over Harry? That's what I'm trying to work out. That
doesn't really matter at the moment.
No, because it's one extra player. Yeah. Gvardiol, he's got Walker. Burn, he's got Burn. Porro, he's got Porro.
Mm-hmm.
Palmer, he's got Palmer. Foden's got Foden. Gordon, he's got Gordon. Son, has he got Son?
Yep.
Jackson?
Yep.
Isaac?
Yep. Haaland? Yep.
Haaland?
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah. Then it's just Cucurella and Gabriel left.
It's Cucurella.
Cucurella versus who?
He had Gabriel. Oh no, he had White. Sorry, he had Ben White.
Harry had Ben. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, Harry had Ben White. Oh my God, we just wasted 5 minutes working that out. It's like, yeah. We do this all the time, chat. You can tell. But yeah, so we've got that there between them two. We've got in third place we've got Madeline Tudor. And Madeline Tudor is miles behind. So there's no chance really for him.
It's
And then behind
bragging rights.
Behind him, but he's level with points on. All right, my name's John Harris, mate. Michael John Harris, Magic Man. He's got level with him, so John could still get back to his third spot. Madeline Tudor's got that at the moment. It's about between those two.
I just want to highlight. So Michael Swedden's actually listening now, but Harry Dawson, I find it really weird that he's been exceptional this season, and yet the differential captains that he's picked, unbeknown to me, were exactly the same as me. That's why Harry has completely fallen off a cliff. He was doing really well. So,
well,
Harry, why were you even listening to the streams if you're going to virtually copy my?
Well, he obviously wants to ruin his rank. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be interested. Well, it'll be interesting to see how we finish this game week really, and where the leagues look like. But that's a YouTube chat league anyway. The top 4. You're looking at the mod league. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Hardboy and Paulie. Again, dominating the top of that, and then miles behind that is Gabriel Ropp in 3rd place, and then Dan's there in 4th place. Then we've got the Rivals League where we've got Hardboy at top of that. Then we've got Sultan Saeed in 2nd place, Ayush in 3rd, John in 4th. Then
It's going to sound really horrible, but like I look for the Rivals League and I'm like, none of these people even exist to us anymore, to be honest with you.
I know.
It's dark, really. It's dark.
No, we'll see them game week 1.
Although, interestingly enough, I'm not going to name them, but somebody who literally disappeared off our channel randomly made a comment on our show.
Yeah, but just because you don't see them in the chat doesn't mean, like, the amount of times I watch stuff and I don't say a word in chat.
No, but these are regular contributors.
Yeah, but a contributor to the show for me is someone that watches us as well as comments, because that I can guarantee you now, there's people listening.
People would write at least one comment.
Yeah. But life is busy and it's summer, and well, not summer yet, but we're going into it. But what I'm saying is, like, I know that there's people that are just chilling and they lurk in week out that we probably don't ever know their names or read their names out.
No, but the people that I'm referring to
are people that are in the leagues. Yeah.
It's like I speak to Dan about communication. Once
Sultan Saeed it's been part of the community for, since the begining, pretty much 2018, 2019.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah,
Ray Joyce,
yeah. We've got. I'll go through them. We go through the names. We've got the members league. Here we go. We've got Matty T.
Members league. You don't need to look at.
Oh, not members league. So it's not that one. It's the rivals league. Sorry. We got the. Oh my God! Some of these names. Daniel Chubarik's regular. He's on Discord still. We got this Strux here. Yeah, he's been around quite a bit recently. We've got Zimmy, JC. I've not seen him for a while. Peter Scullion. The best a man can get.
Did you see who Sai had in his team? Van Heck. Couldn't make it up.
Nuclear Atoms. We got FPL Mechanics. God, a lot of these names, like, we'll see, like Mr. Anderson, the Don, Firetog. Who's he? Jack.
Yeah, it's true.
Jack Brew. We don't know that. I don't know that name. We'll see a lot of these players in the list here. Some much of which I haven't read out. I'm reading through now. We'll see them game week 1. Ramanathan's there. We've got Marios there, Christian Walsh. Yeah, as soon as game week 1 comes around, it's just going to be like, oh, hello, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we're wondering where you went.
Well, just a quick one, because
Peter S.
I'm running out of time. But
yeah.
I just want to quickly say about the Super Cup that Firetalk has made. I didn't even realise this was happening until literally just now, in the sense of the final. So the final is covered over game week 37-38. It's Vonka versus Harbour Boy. It's first versus second in the Trophy League. And surprise, surprise, Harbour Boy is 59 points to 41 against Vonka, but it's covered across 2 game weeks. and Stronka definitely isn't playing his bench boost, so it could come down to the final day of the season. Oh no, I do want to finish on this actually. I'm assuming you're obviously aware of the FPL challenge.
I am aware of the FPL challenge. I've seen it. I know that there's certain different rules in it that you can change players or something over the weekend and things like that. Is that right?
To be honest, I don't know the direct rules other than the literal rules, which are, for instance, the final day of the season. We're only going to be allowed. Well, I don't even play.
FPL challenge. Managers can only select a maximum of one player per club. Play against your friends and the world's best managers in the new weekly format of Fantasy Premier League. New week, new challenge, no commitments. Start each game week with a blank team sheet. I like the idea of that. Reset budget and a new challenge. Can't play this week? No problem. Leaderboards start afresh every week. Wow, that's cool. Make transfers. They're definitely going towards the casual community here. Massively, this is casual. Like this has got casual written all over it, mate. All over it.
Look, what I was going to say is, do you think that they'll implement certain things from this challenge game into this? So, for instance, it would be like game week 20, all your strikers get double points. I reckon the deadline will be moved.
I don't. I think they're going to have the same FPL format because it's, people have enjoyed it for years and years. However, I think this challenge is just an extra element that they can add on top because for the sake of, I'm not saying they won't change any of the chips. I think some of the chips might need looking at. Because I really, for example, I really like the all-out attack chip. I liked that chip.
And remember, there's going to be it's unlikely to be double game weeks next year.
No, I'm reading through this now. Each game week, start each game week with a blank team sheet, reset budget, and a new challenge. This is pretty much like, if you're a casual FPL player, this is a dream. You miss a game week, don't worry about it if you miss a game week. You miss a deadline. You literally can make transfers at any time. But watch out, as players will be locked into your team as soon as the match kicks off. So look, make transfers at any time. So don't worry about the whole. Do you know what I like about this? I like the whole in the nose get absolutely smashed in the face on this because it makes it doesn't matter. It makes little difference in the nose. The only people that will be upset about it are people like Arbor Boy who live across the other side of the world where it's like 3 a.m. when the game's kicking off. And if there is any late team news, we'll get Dan's opinion on it in a minute. Make transfers at any time up until kick-off. Win a trip to New York. Ooh. Yeah, bloody hell. Right, so Dan, the challenge, does this interest you in any way, the fantasy challenge? Certainly, obviously, this season's over and done with, but maybe next season, would you create a team and play it?
Yeah, I'm up for it. After the storming season I've had this season, why not?
Yeah, barnstorming season, absolutely, man, absolutely. I'm sure the people in the chat that will comment. What are you laughing at, Stevie?
The fact that Dan gave such an insightful opinion there.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Steve? Are you going to do it next season? Why not? Why not?
No, I'm not going to do it. I cannot be bothered.
Yeah,
Same
you can.
Sky.
Of course you can. You've got way too much time in your hands.
Yeah.
You just sit around. You just sit around going, "I've done my FPL team. What do I do now?" Writing my book about players I'm thinking of bringing in. Do some sketches of Cole Palmer and Gavardio with his nice beard.
Keeping sheets of paper like this. Game week 26 predictions. Fucking hell. Even though, ironically,
what do you do with those pieces of paper after you're done? Do you keep them in a folder for like history?
No. Ironically, I'm supposed to keep it so that I can see who is better at predicting. Is it the history or me? It always turns out to be me. And it's just interesting from my point of view. Like, well, if I was to put money each week on the correct
50p,
score line,
didn't you?
Yeah, just correct score lines, how much money I would make. I just don't have the time, Jace. I cannot be bothered.
Yeah, fair dues, mate. Well, summer's coming along, so you forget about it until next season anyway.
But Dan is back. He was gonna.
Yeah, Dan. Well, he said he was gonna do it next season, didn't he? But Dan, you got any final thoughts, mate, before we close up?
Just hoping for tomorrow for a Liverpool win or a draw.
Because it'll incentivize Spurs to win. Anything that's to incentivize Spurs.
At the end of the day, I'm going into the final day of the season. above you, Jace. So it's just all on finish above Stevo, really. And when that happens,
When it
I'll be
has
rolling
happened,
down. I'll be rolling down to Bournemouth Beach. I'll be lighting up that Cuban cigar and
Just
celebrating.
remember, Dan, we are living in an alternate universe, mate. Literally, this season's just been weird.
Well, the only way I can catch you, Dan, legitimately, is if by some miracle Anthony Gordon gets me a double-digit return against Man United, and
Could happen.
your differentials, like if you got bench boost like Gallagher do nothing, Poro, all these differentials, if they do nothing and Haaland does nothing, which is unlikely, if Anthony Gordon goes crazy, which isn't going to happen, I could get you, Dan. I could possibly do it.
That's almost as likely as Arsenal winning the league, mate. I just don't see it.
It's possible. I mean, anything's possible. So, but,
2201, 2264. No chance.
63 points in it.
No chance.
If Gordon gets,
it's over, mate. It's over, mate. Just admit.
That's 20 points catch up, and then on the final day of the season, Jace, a differential that I could bring in and captain, because that's my plan for the final day of the season. I'm thinking just go with one differential, transfer them in, and captain them. I could do it, Dan.
You could, but you're not going to do it.
Right. There's literally there, like, for me, like
that.
I think you're clutching at straws there, Steve. But I think that I think it's healthy to have a bit of aspirations, but I think that's a bit deluded. On that note, I'm worse than you. I'm third. You're second. Dan's first. Well done, Dan. We'll have a big celebration. Maybe we'll get some prosecco out. What do you reckon?
Sounds awesome. Yeah, I'll be drinking it on the final day of the season, regardless. Anyway.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we'll end it there, and we'll circle around and work out when we're going to catch up and digest this double game week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Please hit the like button and follow us on social media at Elite FPL. Steve, got any penultimate words before we close up?
There's a possibility of a stream on Wednesday evening with the three of us, but we'll chat about that in 2 seconds.
Okay, bye.